No, we're not looking at the Plymouth today. We are looking at this engine. Right, so I've got the last three Welsh plugs in. I'm just going to pop the manifolds on now, just because it's easier on here than it is on the running stand. And I'm just going to peel this off. It might take a little while. I'll just mask everything off. It's quick and easy to do. But I'm not going to fit the manifolds I'm putting on are mangy things. They're old ones. I think one's got a crack in it. They're going to be fine for running the camshaft in, but I'm not going to use a gasket. I'm just going to put a bit of goo around here. There it is. Just got a bit of black RTB or Celestic, whatever you want to call it, on there. Just going to hang this here for a moment. It is important. That was really smart. I've only got one fastener. Hang on. It is important. I'm going to take these ones out in a second. I've just got crap in there, but anyway, doesn't matter. Just to use a bit of anti-seize. These are sort of plated bolts. Just a bit of anti-seize on the threads. Clean the junk up first, obviously. I'll just take these out again. I'll just put them there temporarily. There we go. Now these aren't going to be here for any length of time, just to run the cam, and then of course I can bake on the other ones, the cast iron finish. But in the meantime, it's just always a good practice. They're particularly plated bolt, nickel and all that sort of stuff, just to stop them galling. Use the obligatory 30 weight running in oil. Oh, by the way, I found a sump plug. So I'm just going to drop about 4 litres in here. Hope it doesn't square out everywhere. And of course we'll pre-fill our oil filter. It's a lovely Z9 Riker. They've done a sort of retro type with a retro service sticker there, which is kind of cool. But we just want to pre-fill this. And I'll move the engine. The last thing I'll do with the engine before I take it off the stand is just tilt it so I can keep this thing full. And this will just sort of soak down into the filter element a bit, so I'll just do that on the bench, I think. Well, the last thing I want to do is just move it over a little. So I'm going to put the oil filter on, I don't spill everything everywhere. Don't spill. Should really take the rock covers off on the off chance I damage them, but yeah, here we go. I'm going to have to touch up a few things anyhow, I think. Take the weight of the engine. Comes to this little guy here, and it should just pull out. Let's give it a bit more height. There we go, that looks pretty weightless. Come back. All right. Come on, little fella. Round you get. Just put it around there. Pull that around a bit. Whoops, no more than that. Just going to chop the back up with a few bits of wood and a rag so I don't scratch up my nice paint job. And that will give us a nice working height to put the dry plate on. Oh, look at that, isn't that nice? These are rather mangy looking bits, but again they're just for the stand. Get the cobwebs off. Pretty horrible, pretty nasty, but they'll do the job for now. These little guys only go on one way, so you just put them on, take a guess, and just rotate them until you think they're all good. And that looks pretty good there, but sometimes they're so finely out I think that's right now. Yeah, that's it. Now this is an old drive plate I use every now and then for test engines. Make sure you put the torque ring on. This is only just to run cams in, but it doesn't matter. If you're going to do something right, quite often it takes a little while longer to do it properly, but at least then you get a good result. It should go like that. There's those two lines there, so we'll torque these up, and then you can just sort of, you know, it's done right. You know what I mean? It's only temporary. All this is coming off again to put a flywheel on and a different sandwich plate, but it doesn't matter. Alright, here's Billy the big screwdriver. When you lift an engine, you'll notice it'll bounce if you do this. If it does, just wait for it to settle and then bounce on the downstroke, if you know what I mean. That way, you'll keep it steadier. Anyway, I'm just going to plonk this on this engine stand. And I didn't make this too well because its measurement is just... Hang on a sec, I'm just going to lift it a bit more. Its measurement's just out with the engine crane. I also want to bring that around like that. Now I want it to leave enough room for the fan. So if I go back a little bit, sort of like that, I reckon it'll be about right there. I thought I might have to move those bottom legs, that's all. I'm going to fold them out. And that should just drop on. Make sure it's reasonably central, which it's absolutely not. Maybe there? Yeah. If you're not used to doing this sort of thing, get a mate. Mates are good, they can help you. If you haven't got any mates, well, it's a bit more expensive, I suppose. Now I can't really see. So we use our feet when we kick the basket around a bit, eh? Is there enough room there for the fan? There we go, look at that. Much better, much better. I've been asked to do a video on the engine stand, which I'll do one. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. I'm going to build another one though, this one's a bit too cumbersome. Okay, should be around there somewhere. I might just use a different type of hammer. This one's a bit harsh, I think. So yeah, I might make another one, a slightly smaller one. So I've got a little engine mounted now, so I'm going to take these chains off. I never tighten these, I just do them finger tight because there's quite a bit of thread that goes into the cylinder head. And I didn't mark it up, isn't that good? But it's marked up at the back. I guess it's at the back. That's a dodgy attitude, isn't it? So, now we can start getting it ready to start the engine. Just put it on.
Oh.
Oh, that was smart. I've got to. Oh no, that's all right. I might just have to take that bolt off.
Yeah.
It's easier leaving one in because it's easier to line them up. Because they move around. Which I think I just did. It's awfully long. I think your mum said that once.
No, she didn't.
Oh, cool, I got it started. That's too close. Should be right. So when are you thinking of joining?
Soon.
I repaired this clutch fan, but I don't trust it. I just want to make sure it's all good. It's the alternative I want to use, but I don't like the pulley on it. It's too small. Fitting alright. There's a lock washer on it. Got a wave washer. Get that well. Good. I'll be looked at when I cleaning this sort of thing up and everything when I go to do it permanently in the car, but at the moment I just want to check its output voltage and so on and so forth. That space is far too big, you can barely get to that nut, but I can turn that down on a lathe. That was just one I made up a while ago. Piece. I think this is the one I used on the junkyard motor. I'm not sure. Ooh, it's a fraction. It's just about the end of its tether, so I'll just make it. It'll fit though, but it'll only fit for the test. It won't fit as a permanent solution in the car. There we go. Right, so we're now ready to put this stuff on here. This is the dashboard, which just sits in that spigot there, and of course this means now I need to wire the whole thing up, which isn't such a big deal. Interestingly, it has this air-fuel mixture gauge that my brother bought. It has like an O2 sensor, goes in the manifold, and I didn't weld the nut in. And I should, because the holing I'm putting on this to run it in, I wanted to use on the XW. I've just got a normal, standard, dodgy, how you going sort of vacuum gauge on it, and that will tell me, engines being an air pump, exactly what it's doing in terms of suction. So I'll just connect that up now. But the rest of it is just a matter of connecting up, and then do the exhaust, which will take 20 minutes, and we're ready to start him up. Right, we're still getting ready to start this thing. We've got the pistons at top, dead center. It's the last time we're going to see it looking nice and clean like that, hopefully, because if we do have to pull it apart and it's still clean, it means something's gone wrong. I painted some timing marks down there, didn't have any white, didn't have any red. Where are they? Up in there. Got some oil pressure going on. You can see all of the rocker arms have got oil on them from rotating the shaft of the cordless drill. I might just give it another whirl now just to get pressure up before I put the distributor in, because then we're almost ready to start it. Just give me a sec. You see oil's coming out.
Oh.
So we got oil pressure all over the place.
Yeah. Sorry, over here as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
It's a good thing, but it's just careless of me. Man, that's daft. It's gone everywhere.
That's really stupid.
Oh no, that's all right. That one's gone back into the. At least they're all good. They're good though. It's got oil pressure and it's all working properly. This one overshot and went all over the engine itself. Now you don't really need to use Teflon tape on your sensors, and most of them are on a tapered gas thread. That is your temperature and your oil pressure. It's not a bad idea though, just to make sure before we do anything, just to check for continuity between an earth point and the housing of each sensor, so you know they're earthing properly. And that way you're not going to be waiting for a gauge to operate while damage is being done. I'm just waiting to see if water comes out of that thermostat housing. I've got the thermostat in there. I can hear. Can't really hear anything. I'm just waiting for air to come out. If it doesn't bleed, I'll just crack the housing and let it come out. But if that's the case, I'll wait till the distributor's in, because I don't want any water coolant filling in the engine. So I just want it bled before I start it, because I don't want any airlocks or anything. All right, well, it looks like that's got rid of the air out of there. I mean, look, worst comes to the worst. I could have just take one of those bolts out. They go into the jacket, I think, and just let the air bleed out that way. But I can put a hose on now. That's good. These are bits and pieces out of a container that's been in my mother's house for about 30 years, or 25 to 30 years. There's lots of things like XD wheel nuts and little covers for them, all that sort of stuff. I'm just looking for the Fairmont gear type ones, and also these. There's a broken one. The plug retainers. I've only got one. There's the second one, but it's busted. But these things like heater clamp retainers, all that sort of stuff, it's got to go through. They're off a Sigma. They're the rear window vents off a Sigma. It's got to go through these. Just looking for odds and ends I can use. There's nothing much there. Unfortunately, that thing's broken. That's a bummer. Ooh, but look at this. I need one of these for the XC. So there's an XC heater knob thing, and also this. Oh, that's actually got a break in it, but that's the that goes to your snorkel and it sits underneath your air cleaner. I can just use an adhesive and put that in, and that of course is the that's just a vacuum line retainer. So just odds and ends like this. That particularly, like, I need these for the XC. I'm missing two of them, so there's one. So I'm just down one now. So I'll just keep looking. Oh, too easy. There's a pair of them. Right, run a few last minute checks. Just stick some voltage in. That might be tight enough. We've got our exciter circuit working. I just want to check coil power. Okay, we've got power there, that's good. I don't want to be cracking this over for any length of time. And fuel pump. Alright. I'll just turn the fuel pump on. Let's look for leaks. I can hear the fuel going in. Any leaks there? It was draining into there with the 302. Oh, we'll keep going. That crow. Fuel pump. I can smell petrol. I can certainly smell it. That was quicker than I thought. I just better get a screwdriver for the idle. Alright, here we go again. top hose looks like it's bulging a little bit, but all the vitals look pretty good. On 180 degrees, we're pushing about 17 inches of vacuum, which is really good considering it's got a lumpy cam in it. So I'm only running points at the moment. So I said those before, this is just static times with my guess of about 5 degrees ignition advance. Just watching this, it's a bit bigger than it was. It's got a homemade PCB from it. I've ordered another one, which was the reason the XW engine was held up on the stand because I was waiting for one, but that was a funny D-shaped one. It's pushing really, really healthy vacuum. I'm very impressed with that. It's pretty brand new. I mean, it's about 35 degrees here today, so it's sort of risky doing this. But I'm just keeping my eye peeled on all the vitals. It's getting too hot to touch. Wait a minute. Look at that hose. I don't like that hose. Time for a cuppa. Yum. Yeah, I don't like that hose. I'm nervous about it. It's an old one. It's right on 180. Cam break-in's over. Let's slow it down now. Well, I've just knocked the idle down. Beautiful run. I think there's a bit of run out on that clutch fan. We've got exhaust leaks down there, but on the whole, I'm a pretty happy camper. I don't think I've got much petrol left. Well, I'm going to put new rocket cover gaskets on because these are the old ones off the 302 motor because I knew I'd be taking them off 1,000 times. But the big test when you build an engine after you've done all this is to have a look at the engine oil. This is going to fly out this stuff. Just want to have a look at it, make sure not full of metal. And I'll get some new stuff tomorrow and that looks absolutely great. There'll be some discoloration because of assembly lubes and all sorts of stuff like that, but what we're looking for is basically metal. That was pretty good though. Pretty happy with that. That's excellent. Yep, I'm quite happy with that. That's awesome. So to sum up, everything went well. I'll buy some oil for it tomorrow. Don't want to keep it without oil for too long. Carburetor sucks, and distributor does too. It's the old points one, so I've got to get an electronic ignition for it. I'll rebuild the thermoquote. Also, the clutch fan has run out, so that clutch has had it, so that needs to go. I tried to repair that with the spring at the front and so forth, but that's no good. And I also put new rock cover gaskets on, but aside from that, it's a very, very sweet engine. So we'll get an electronic ignition with new coil, rebuild a thermoquad for it, which I'll do a separate video on, it's not part of this one. And it's pretty much done. I've just got to get some new, I've got some new manifolds. When I get them blasted, I'll paint them, then I can sort of start it, fry them in if you like, stop it. I won't let it get hot like I did today. But yeah, went well. Anyway, whatever the case, drive safely, enjoy your classic, and I'll see you later. Ta-da.